Hey, welcome to your Aries, pardon me, horoscopes for the week of Thanksgiving if you're in the United States and whatever's going on this week for you guys if you're not in the United States. The week of the 19th through the 25th. Those of us in the USA have a holiday this week, and you Aries are lucky enough to have the moon for the whole entire holiday. Aren't you excited about that? I'm sure. I'm not actually just bringing this up and looking at this, and I'm picking up my Aries brother at the airport for those whole 3 days, and I'm like, and he's going to be moony? Actually, it doesn't have to be that bad, really. And the moon comes into your sign on Wednesday, the day before the holiday, actually. Sorry, that snuck up on me. In a favorable position, actually. We do have a bit of a square with Mercury, which is currently focused on career, while the moon is coming in focused on the past. And so this may actually bring up emotional triggers around various different challenges that you have had in the past with work. And coming up right before the holiday is extremely inconvenient. Nobody wants to go into their day having to deal with something like that. And so the best advice I can give is obviously for most people, this is going to literally happen like right before a 4-day weekend, or at least a day off, if nothing else. And you don't want to carry that through the whole weekend. As much as difficult as it can be, try and forget about it and put it down until you have to deal with it again on Monday. Honestly, as difficult as that is, it really puts you in a much better energy to deal with the situation when you go back to it than if you've been worrying about it for 4 straight days, if that makes sense. The good news, though, is the moon joining Neptune's grand sextile with Mars, the sun, as well as Pluto. Now, this is a very helpful aspect. And in terms of the little challenge that you have is much greater than that, actually. It's bringing together the energy that's going into your long-term goals. And Pluto is sort of helping you when these triggers come up. We tend to do one of two things. Either we're going to react to it completely and make bad decisions based on that reaction a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, or we're going to learn from that, try and understand why this trigger keeps coming up so that you can kind of move past it and not have to deal with it coming up over and over again. Pluto in that space, that trigger space, is sort of helping you with that, reminding you that your power lies in working through the trigger and not reacting to the trigger or refusing to let the trigger go in some way, shape, or form. I know it's easier said than done, trust me, but also trust me when I say that it's worth it. Even if the situation never changes, letting go of its control over you emotionally is still in your favor. Absolutely. You just deal with the situation a lot easier when those things aren't constantly tripping you up. As we get into Thursday, where we do have the holiday, the moon continues to be in a trine. Actually, it was in a challenge with Mercury, and now today it's not. It's actually in a trine with Mercury because the moon is full into Aries now and not quite on the cusp, whereas Mercury is in Sagittarius. So we've got fire and fire working together. Now that's, first of all, really good energy wise, because you are probably going to need some energy today to get all the things together to make it the quote unquote perfect holiday. And I know how you Aries are. It's really important to you to create that perfect space. So lots of energy going into that. Also, where we had a challenge yesterday with your career, Mercury being in your career, now we have a positive. Now it's completely flipped. And so this, to me, could also be one of those situations that can be very easily misunderstood, and you may be overreacting for nothing, which is a good thing. Enjoy your holiday, right? We do have the moon in opposition with Venus, of course, because Venus is in that opposite sign there. Sorry about the phone. Venus is focused on finances, and we're specifically looking at creative ways of dealing with those finances. And this is one of those past emotional situations that kind of sort of puts a wrench in your plans there, or it looks like it's putting a wrench in your plans. So things are great, things are not. Things are great, things are not. Things are great, things are not. Guess what? That's life. Nobody can handle that better than an Aries, though. You guys are the ones that really know how to navigate that better than I think any other sign. So don't lose heart. Just keep going. It is going to get better, I swear. As we move into Friday, and we're down to turkey sandwiches here, hopefully for my family, it's gumbo because our holiday is technically on Friday and not Thursday. The moon is moving out of your sign, will be out of your sign by the end of the afternoon, and in a grand sextile with Mercury and Saturn. So we continue the trine with Mercury, bringing Saturn into the mix. Saturn is all about pointing the finger at the responsibility to yourself. So Saturn is in that place where it's focused on self. We're looking at what are we doing and what do we need to do to take responsibility for our stuff, for what we're doing. And that helps you to be able to move forward in those career goals. So it's a lot of stuff. I mean, to me, this seems like a lot of letting go of old mindsets, letting go of old habits, letting go of the way you approach things and deal with things, merely to make space for a new way of doing it. And that's really what it's all about. We have to continue to evolve and sort of put the kibosh on the way we have a tendency as humans to just devolve over the years as we get older instead of evolve. And it's all about that evolution there, guys. So is it stress? Yes, but it doesn't look like it's really a lot of stress. And honestly, the management of that stress is basically in how you handle it. And you guys, I mean, you've got this, really. If anybody was going to have an easier time with the moon coming into their sign through the holiday, it is you guys. So whatever it is that you're doing, always do your best as you usually do, and don't sweat the small things. I'd share what my husband says about that, but I don't think YouTube is going to like that. So you guys have a great week with that. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a donation to or a tip to my coffee link, which is in the description. I'd really appreciate that. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic, and you guys have a great holiday, or if you're not celebrating a holiday, just have a great week because you deserve that. And I will see you next week.